Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Danjo number 256. This is a CW BZ is what it is. The 256 is a door reinforcer is what it is, and is part of a family of lots of door reinforcers from Danjo. Their name is synonymous with this product line, along with latch protectors. If you know Danjo, you probably know them for door reinforcing plates or for latch protectors. Well, this is the 256. The 256 part number literally represents all of the dimensional properties of this item. You change that part number, you change something dimensionally about this. This is the CW, that means commercial wrap. They used to have an IW, which they called interior wrap, and I don't know what the difference was between them. When I asked the factory to explain, they were unable to tell me what the difference was either. It may have been it may have had something to do with the thickness of the material. Interior wrap, commercial wrap. You could imagine one might be thicker than the other. Bear with me. There is a peel-away protective film on this, which certainly explains the black magic marker. I'm just getting that peeled off so that we can do a couple of things. First of all, measure it. This item is 50 thousandths. An interior wrap, I would suspect, would have been closer to 32 thousandths. Okay. Then, peeling that protective layer over will certainly allow you to see the bronze base material. Okay, and that's the BZ part. So commercial wrap, that's going to tell us what we're dealing with. And the BZ base material is going to tell us that it is made of bronze base material. Okay, so there's nothing, this is just made of bronze. It's not steel, it's not stainless, made of bronze, and it is in a satin bronze finish, which would be a 612 finish, or a US 10 is what that would be called. This item can also be done in an antique brass. That would be made of brass, along with the bronze. They can do a polished brass. They can also do a stainless steel, and then onto stainless steel they can do a dark brown, or what would be called a duranodic powder coat, to make it look like, the factory uses the term oil rubbed bronze, fast and loose. It's a powder coat, dark brown. That's certainly complementary to oil rubbed bronze, but is anything but oil rubbed bronze. Now, the 256, what are these dimensions? Let's go over it. The 256 tells us that this is a 12-inch tall plate, that it is 4-inch wide. It'll be a little bit more than 4-inch. They generally run a little long, 4 1/4. That this has a 2 3/8 back set, which they both of the holes will. That they will be 5.5-inch on center, which they are. That they are 2 1/8-inch holes, which they are. That is for an 1 3/4 thick door, which it is. They say it's 22 gauge. This is close. This is heavier than 22 gauge. It might be 17 or 18 gauge. So we've got the size, we've got the back set, the centers, the diameter of the hole. There's a link below this video to a document called Template that will let you review all of the dimensional properties of the item. And that 4-inch, that's really a better reference to the inside type of dimension, and that's where you're going to get, of course, closer to 4-inch, even though it's definitely heavy on 4-inch. They always are. The height is always spot on, but but the width is always greater than the order size. This will include 2 preparations for your latch bolts that are meant to be mortised to the edge of the door. Now this model is going to include these threaded insert nuts, as you can see. The point is that, and it will include 2 sets of 832 flat undercut head machine screws in a complementary finish for you to literally attach your latch bolts to the plate. The latch bolts get attached to this. This whole unit gets pushed into the door. Is how the installation goes. Then you've got your screws that are meant to go obviously through your holes and into your unit, into your door. One thing to say, this is not fire rated. If you have a fire rated door, this is technically not permissible to use on a fire rated door because it's not listed, it's not labeled, and the door has not been tested with an additional fuel load on the door. Not to say that your door would fail in a fire test with one of these installed. It's just never been tested. So installing this item, I've installed these. They can be a chore, or they can be kind of easy. They're a chore if the margin between the edge of the door and the frame is already too tight, because you're adding 50 thousandths, not including the fact that this isn't going to sit super tight on the edge of the door. And that can make it a chore, to be sure. And having installed it in the past, there are times when you need to back behind here, open that area up. You will certainly need to open that area up on the wood door. It could be damaged or broken or splintered out. May not be a big deal. You might need to, if you have an extremely tight margin, you might need to take that door down and literally mortise the edge of the door, the thickness of this plate, to bring this completely flush with the edge of the door so that you can bring it all the way in flush. And that's not unheard of. It's not impossible. And actually, it's standard practice in commercial doors, like in a hospital where you will have mortised door guards. The issues, though, is in a residential application, you're really not going to see the handyman or the weekend warrior with a template routing the edge of the door. However, you might need to go to some extreme in order to get this to work. You might need to plane the entire door down just to make this fit. You might be able to move the door over closer to the hinges, mortising those a little bit deeper to try to cheat some room out of there. The bottom line is a door and frame in commercial construction isn't made with the thought that you're going to add every bit of a 1/16 of an inch. Residential construction is not operating on such as tight tolerances, so it might just work splendidly. But do expect the possibility of having to rework that door a little bit. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog, which is really handy because you can pull that up, perform a find function on your keyboard, and get to the 256, and you're going to see the 256 along with its sister product, the 258. The only difference is the back set. 2 3/8 versus 2 3/4 would be the only difference. 1 3/4, 4x12, 5.5 inch centers, 2 1/8 inch hole. Lists the other sizes that are available there. On that page, you will see the 4-inch centers. And there will be a 6-inch center somewhere here. 4-inch centers, 6-inch centers are there. 3 5/8 of an inch centers as well are all in that catalog. And if you have more than an occasional need for a door reinforcing plate, you might want to peruse that catalog a bit. Their name is synonymous with it, with this product line. And as I said, if you know the name Don Joe, you know the name probably because of door reinforcing plates. This is actually quite heavy. About 1.7 pounds, believe it or not, with its screws in its box. And this is noticeably heavier than the other ones that I have weighed. The brass, the antique brass, the stainless, naturally heavier than stainless. And I believe it's because this is 50 thousandths, and those plates are generally thinner than that. So this product may be an anomaly at being that thick. I don't know that to be the case, but this is the item that I have, and my caliper tells me, even though it's possibly flared out at the end ever so slightly, that's about the thickness of a standard kick plate. So be mindful of that. Now, as I said, if you know the name Don Joe, you will because of door reinforcing plates or latch protectors, but they make a complement of trim and auxiliary hardware. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Don Joe products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the Don Joe? This is their number 256 in a satin bronze, solid bronze finish, or any other Don Joe product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.